Darling, you send me, I know you send me.
Hi everyone, it's Derin here and welcome back to my channel, or if you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel, and definitely make sure to subscribe. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Anyways, as you can see with the title, today's video is going to be tips for working / studying from home, because obviously given everything which is going on at the moment, we're all stuck at home, and as much as for the first few weeks of quarantine it's kind of been a bit chill, you know, just staying in bed watching Netflix, all of a sudden it's like mid-April and I realized that my university deadlines are like slowly creeping up, and I feel like a lot of us can relate with that. So I've had to figure out a way to actually get all of this work done and be productive at home in the lead up to these deadlines. So over the last couple of weeks I've been trying and testing a bunch of different tips for productivity at home, and in today's video I'm going to share the top ones which have worked for me, and so hopefully will work for you guys, whether or not you have university deadlines or you're a GCSE or A-level student. And so yeah, hopefully by the end of this video you can learn some new things that you can apply. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight into today's tips for working and studying from home.
Darling, you send me.
Okay, so tip number one is all about creating a designated workspace or area that you get your work done. For a lot of us, I know that we may have been used to working in libraries or in coffee shops, but unfortunately, given everything which is going on, we've got to work from home, and so finding a place that you can call your work spot is really important and will allow your brain to know when I'm at this spot, it's time to get some work done. So in terms of tips for creating a space, I typically recommend moving a desk or a table to somewhere where you have access to good natural lighting. It just helps to keep you awake, and it's just really nice to have the light shining in on you. So yeah, I definitely recommend experimenting with different spaces, seeing where you feel most comfortable, and then establishing that as your designated workspace. Once you've done that, given that it's going to be somewhere where you'll be spending a lot of your time, I recommend adding some of your favorite things or just things that make you happy around that space. So for me personally, I really like candles. I also have one of my favorite coasters on my desk so that when I'm drinking my tea or my matcha, I have that there. But yeah, whatever it is, surround your workspace with things that you really enjoy and that make you happy. In addition to that, making it practical and cozy is something which is equally as important. So for example, getting a desk lamp if you work in the evenings and need that extra bit of lighting, adding a cushion or something which supports your back, etc. Whatever you do, just avoid making your workspace in your bed. I've learned that working in your bed or working somewhere that you associate with like relaxing and comfort makes it very difficult for your brain to associate what exactly you're meant to be doing there. So like if you're in bed relaxing, you might get anxious because you feel like you could also be working, and then vice versa. Like if you're meant to be working and you're trying to be productive, you're also like, well, I'm in my bed, like I want to relax. So I'd say that your bed specifically is just a no-go zone, and instead try to find different spots around your house that you can just associate with work and focus and productivity. Okay, so now we're moving on to the topic of breaks. I think that breaks are very, very important, but more importantly, I think scheduling something to do during that break that you're really looking forward to is like the best thing that you can do, because it motivates you to want to continue working and then reward yourself with something that makes you really happy. So for me personally, whether or not that's a FaceTime call with my friends or like watching an episode of Sex and the City or just like chilling with my family, ensuring that I have something planned for my breaks really helps to act as an incentive for me to continue doing my work. In terms of figuring out when to take a break, I'd say that next time you're working, see how long you stay focused for on average. So for me personally, I think that's around 2 hours. So after about 2 hours, I'll take a break for like 30 minutes. Some people like to do breaks for 20 minutes, some people like to do breaks for 40 minutes. I particularly don't like to take too long of a break because then it's harder for me to go back. So I'd say that 30 minutes is quite good for like an hour and a half to 2 hours of studying, but everyone's gonna have their own opinion of that, and so just do what works for you.
Darling, you.
The next tip in today's video is all about how you start your day. I think just having a morning routine which makes you happy and sets you up right for the day is fundamental when you are working from home. If you want to set an alarm, set an alarm. If you don't want to set an alarm, don't set an alarm. I personally just haven't done it during this quarantine times because I'm trying to be as gentle with myself as possible, and just feel like setting an alarm isn't that necessary for me because I just kind of go about the things that I'm going to go about at my own pace, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But I think just the basic things like showering, getting dressed, brushing your hair. If you want to wear makeup, wear makeup. If you don't want to wear makeup, don't wear makeup. Just doing things that like make you personally feel put together is something which I found really goes a long way in helping to motivate you to like want to have a productive day and get stuff done. Also, on the note of starting your day right, I strongly recommend having a breakfast. You know this phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Every day that I have breakfast, I can see such a noticeable difference in my energy levels and my enthusiasm. So I strongly recommend having a solid breakfast before starting your study studying session. Also just hydrating, you know, I've always got my flask over here. So yeah, as superficial as it may sound, feeling good from the inside and the outside, I find really does make a huge difference with your working and studying from home. I actually follow a blogger on Instagram called Monique. I strongly recommend her page. One thing that she shared that she does from working from home is actually getting dressed into like really pretty dresses every day, and from seeing that I really got inspired to do that myself. So every morning, well, I wake up in the afternoon, every day I wake up after my shower, I like to put on a pretty dress, and honestly it just makes me feel like I have everything together. So this dress was actually sent to me by Shein. If you guys have been watching my vlogs for a while, you know that I love to work with Shein. I'm obsessed with this dress. I just feel like it's so cute, so summery. It also actually sent me 2 other dresses. I feel like post-quarantine, this dress is just gonna be amazing. And then I also received this long blue dress. And so yeah, I strongly recommend this little hack of just getting dressed into something which makes you feel really put together.
Darling, you send me.
Okay, so moving on to the next tip. This is all about planning your day. Every morning, I strongly recommend creating a game plan so that you know exactly what you want to achieve and it's easier to keep track and stay on top of things. If you guys watched my last vlog, which if you haven't, you should definitely watch it. You know that I like to do this whilst having my breakfast, but I think just creating a checklist of things that you want to get done that day is really fundamental and having a focused study session. And when creating a plan for the day, it's important to be very specific. So for me, for example, rather than say do uni work, I will specifically write the exact tasks that I need to do within my university work so that I can actually like track what I'm doing, rather than just be super vague and say you want to do a generalized thing. Another thing that I wanted to mention that I've been doing is not actually putting down any time that I want to get the tasks done. Before, I used to be a really like OCD planner and be like 9:05 breakfast, like 9:20 like I used to plan out my day so meticulously. Going back to what I was saying about being gentle with myself, I found that it's really good for my mental health to just not put specific time. That being said, I do believe in Parkinson's law, which if you guys are not aware of it, is basically a law that says work expands to fill the time that you give it. So if you have a task which in reality should probably take an hour, if you're giving yourself the whole day to get that task done, you're really likely to just procrastinate throughout the day, and before you know it, that task seems really complicated or just really overwhelming, when in reality it's literally like an hour task, but you're just kind of procrastinating. Story of my life. So I think that setting a average time of how long that should take to get done is a good idea, and just being productive and having an awareness of how long everything should take. But in terms of like 9:05 I'm doing this, 9:25 I'm doing this, like I personally just don't think it's that necessary, as we do have the luxury of time whilst being at home. But if you find that that's what works for you, go ahead and do it. But for me personally, it just doesn't. The music that you listen to when you're studying, I think, really makes an impact. It can either help to really motivate you or it can just distract you. I always say this, but I just think that you should not listen to music that has words whilst you're studying, because it's just so easy for you to get distracted. So for me personally, I always recommend music without words or instrumentals. My particular favorites are jazz music, classical music, electronic music that is quite soothing, or like lo-fi hip-hop, you know the vibes. I feel like that kind of music is just really good at just allowing you to get into the study zone and focus on your work, versus music that has lyrics or that gets you hyped. So if you listen to like Drake whilst you're studying, it might work for you, but I definitely recommend giving some classical music a go, giving some jazz music a go, and seeing where that can take you, because trust me, it really does a lot for your work, I swear. And then the final tip for today's video is all about what you are consuming whilst you are studying. So what I recommend when studying are foods which actually help to give you like long releasing energy and help to sustain you throughout the entire day, as opposed to foods or drinks that spike your energy levels and then after a few hours they just go down and then suddenly you feel really demotivated and crap. So for me personally, I think that substituting things like coffee with something like matcha or kombucha or just tea is such a great thing to consider. I really like to have a green apple and almond butter as a snack. It really is just so good. But yeah, I think making these conscious decisions to just feed yourself with healthier foods is something that can really help to impact your studying and your work. And so if you currently do not have these things in your diet, I strongly recommend trying them out, because not only will your work thank you, but your body will thank you too. And ensuring that we are keeping super healthy and having our 5 a day and things like that during these COVID-19 times is very important, because you know, gotta get that immune system up. But yeah, those are actually all of my tips for today's video on how to productively work from home as a student or as someone who's just working from home. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and that you learned some tips that you can hopefully implement into your routine. If you did enjoy this video, I'd love if you could hit the thumbs up button, and of course if you're not already subscribed, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and tap the bell so that my post notifications are on and that you do not miss a video. Leave a comment down below which tip you found the most helpful or that you're most excited to try out, because I'd love to know. And also, if you're not following me on my Instagram, you know what to do. Link is in the description box and my username is on screen now. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much once again for watching. Stay safe, stay indoors, protect the NHS, wash your hands, you know the vibes, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.